So we still have a few more people that's going to log on here shortly. And I'm sure you guys know by now who is with me. That's Mr. Christopher Nickson. And I totally forgot to reach out on Monday and say thank you for your service. It wasn't until Tuesday that I did that. Yep.
That's all right. I hope everybody had a great weekend. We're going to have hopefully a good class today on CloudCMA and the tools that come with it. It's a pretty good tool. I use it quite a bit. I am a realtor myself, even though the shirt here says MiRealSource. So with that, Debbie, if that's okay, we're going to get started. What I'm going to do is switch you over to my Paragon screen, and we're going to lose our lovely faces up here. So hopefully that'll be that. If you have any questions, feel free to either put them in the chat box or in the questions box, and I'll try to look at them from time to time, and Debbie is here as well to assist. So
in the back. All right. Have a great class, Chris.
Okay, so let me get over here and go to my secondary screen.
Yep, you want to turn it, you turned off your, there you go.
Yep. So we should all be looking at this Paragon screen right now. This is your basic screen from Paragon that we all know how to do our searches from and everything else. And if you've been an agent for a while, hopefully you're pretty proficient with this. Anyways, so what we're going to do today is go over how to do CMAs. And hold on, I got to turn my video camera off. Thank you. So hopefully we should just be on the main screen right here. Is that right? Okay, good. So CMAs are pretty important as a realtor, especially in today's market when you're trying to establish, well, why do we need a realtor, right? Because there are several programs out there that any person can go and click on and get some values for your home. However, the artificial intelligence that is out there does not do an accurate job of understanding neighborhoods. There are certain neighborhoods where you go to that one side of the street can affect the home price by several $1,000s one way or the other. There are other parts of the neighborhood where maybe the automatic feeds that are coming in for home values, they're pulling in newer constructions. I happen to live in an area where there were a bunch of homes built in the late 90s, and now all of a sudden there's pieces of land where in the last 3 to 4 years there's been brand new homes built. Well, you can't effectively compare my home that was built in 2000 to a brand new construction home that was built in 2020. So that's where you can start really helping set yourself apart from everything that's out there, is by when you go on a listing appointment to give a good market analysis for somebody. And there's several ways that we can do that. The first way that we do it is a quicker way that comes directly off of Paragon. So what I'm going to do is it all starts out with a search. You get a call from somebody and they say, hey, Chris, we're thinking of listing our home. You know, what can you do? Can you come over and give us a price for it and everything else like that? You say, yeah, I'll meet you there. The first thing I always do is I always check the tax records to see who I'm dealing with. I want to make sure if there's a husband and a wife, you know, that both parties are going to be there when I'm talking to them. If it's showing on the title, I recently actually got a call from a friend in high school. They want me to list his parents' home. When I got there, the home was in the trust, but the tax records showed just the father's name. Having done several of these where they're in a trust and a quick claim deed and all that other stuff, I had to make sure that I was talking with the person who was the executor of the trust and all that other stuff. So you want to see what's on the tax rolls, which is also kind of the official title part. When you do a title search, you want to make sure those parties are going to be present when you go and talk to them, and make sure that if it is in a trust, that you have the authorization from the trust, that you see that page that says who's able to sign, because you don't want to enter into any sort of, you know, non-legal or non-binding listing agreement, because our intent when we present a CMA is to get that listing agreement in the end. So I start with going through a tax search, BS&A online, that's where I start at. And so when BS&A comes up, it's pretty simple. If you're not familiar with it, this is Sterling Heights. City, Sterling Heights, and Macomb. And then you just type in the address. In this case, I got a property already selected. We'll search that. Right here is the home, so you click on that. And it'll bring up the tax information on the property. It'll also show you, depending on the municipality, it'll show you some building department stuff. I have clicked on the building department just to let them know that, hey, you had a couple of permits that you pulled at one point. Maybe you did a deck, maybe you did an addition that you never finalized, or the city's not showing it as finalized. You want to maybe bring that to attention. It's up to you. But it gives you all the property information right here, which, by the way, a lot of this information is pulled from here when you start filling out, when you're going for a listing and the people want to know, where do I get my frontage? Where do I get my acreage? Where do I get all that information from? You can all find it if you scroll, if you scroll through here. You see who the owners are. It's James and Carol Sedlock. Obviously, here's the year built is 1999. Here's the square footage. I've had the discussion where people were, our house is bigger than what it's showing here. Well, that's good, but I'm going to go off the tax rolls, and if you want to take it up with the municipality to try to get your square footage adjusted, that's fine, but they're probably going to charge you more taxes. But I use this. I actually, when I do go to present to CMA, I include this page in my CMA, and I'll show you how to do that, how to include the page. That way, I don't have to worry about someone saying, well, where'd you get all that information from? It tells me it's on 0.402 of an acre. It also gives me all the tax information right here. That loads up. It sees, I see what their taxes are and that they're all current, that they don't have anything outstanding. Here's your legal description. You know, it shows you just click on this information and you can get it. You can find all the information right here. It also gives you the assessed value, the taxable value, the state equalized value. So if you need to fill any of that information in, for some reason it didn't load, like on the MiRealSource data sheet, when you're going to get a listing, this is where you pull it all up from. So anyways, I start here. I see that it's a 2,700 square foot home. It was 2 full baths, 1 half bath, and it was built in 1999. I'll use this as the basis for my search. So you can also come over here before you start and do a quick power search to see if the property has been listed at all previously. And nope, it hasn't been listed before. It's only coming up. I ran a search for it before my class, so it has come up. But it hasn't had any activity in the MLS that they can find. So with that, in order to create a CMA, you need to first find properties to select to be available for your CMA. So it starts by doing a basic search. And it's going to be residential. You want to make sure that you include, I like to include all my solds and my pendings and actives. The reason I like to, the only thing that determines value is the sold prices. However, when I'm doing a CMA, I like to include actives and pendings so that my client can see what their competition is, right? They can homes in the area that are on the market that are similar to theirs, so they can use that kind of as a pricing point. So for my CMA, I like to use the solds and, the actives and the pendings. Appraisers just try to stick to mostly closed. So I include those in my search. I've already ran this search before, so I'll go a little, there's some information I might normally try to include in a search that I'm not going to here. My biggest thing right now is the square footage. Where did that go? I want to enter my square footage, the above grade square footage. We're going to go 2,500 to 2,800. Even though the actual square footage is 2,700, you could try a little less or a little more and play with it till you get some searches coming up, enough homes to pick from. Like I said, I've already ran the search a couple times, and I know that's a good range that's going to produce a number of homes for me to come to. Because I included closed and pendings in my search, I have to select a date range. Otherwise, it'll go back, for as many records as we have. I'm going to go back 18 months. We still have a lot of records up here that we're looking at. And the only other thing that I need to do right now, there are two things. I'm going to put in the year built to 2000. And the only reason I'm doing this, again, I know the area. I'm very familiar with the area. I already ran the search before, and previously when I ran the search in preparation for the class, it pulled up some newer homes, so I don't want them in there. So we're going to set that. The last thing I'm going to do is come up here, and I'm going to do a map search. To do a map search, you can either click on this gray bar right here, or you click on the globe. Either way will take you to the map search criteria. Or you can just click up here in your search where it says map search. Here is my criteria. And now I'm going to the map search portion once it loads. Okay, you come into the search bar and type in your address, which is Balmoral. And right there it is. Click here for the search. And as you can see, it dropped my pin right here where Balmoral is, but it's pulling up all these other homes. I'm going to define the radius of a ½ mile right here and click on search radius. It'll pull up homes right here. It's showing 5 homes, it looks like. And I'm going to click on search button, and now those homes should all come up. And there are 5 properties right there. Unfortunately, there are no pendings and there are no actives in the areas. But we have 5 searches that are within the square foot that I have. I have a 2,700 square foot home. You know, 3 bedrooms, baths, everything else like that. It kind of gives me good representation of what's in the area. You could use all 5 if you wanted to after you looked at the photos and kind of got a good figuring that, you know, they're all the same, meaning somebody doesn't have a swimming pool or you know, anything like that. Maybe their basements are all finished about the same. But for purposes of this class, I'm just going to show you what to do if you don't want to use all 5. I'm just going to randomly, I'm going to just pick some. I'll pick these 3 right here. You selected the properties you want from your search. Maybe the search result yielded in 18 properties. You don't want to use all 18 in your properties. I just selected 3. You come up here to where it says checked. Click on check. Now only those 3 will be right there, okay? So from there, you're ready. There's a couple ways to do it. The first way to do a CMA is the one out of Paragon. If you come all the way over here to the far right where the reports button is, it's this green kind of button right here with a drop down arrow. If you click on that, all the way down here to CMA, you have 3 options under CMA. You have the quick view, the summary, and the spreadsheet. I'll show you the quick view real quick. The quick view just basically shows a little bit of information and the 3 homes right there like that. It's okay to use. I've never really used that one. The other report is the CMA spreadsheet, which is kind of just similar to what I already had when they all came up. I don't use this one that much either. The one that I use and what we call the CMA summary, which is a quick way to give your clients, is it shows the address, the city, all this information right here. It also pulls up, you know, the list price and the sold price, the highs and the lows. I'm going to just show you a search I ran for a client earlier today, just so you can kind of see it, see what it looks like when you have, when you have actives and everything else. I didn't want to do my CMA in that area. So if I run this and we do the quick view of the CMA, there's a lot of homes here. As you can see, it shows the actives first, the solds, and then the pendings down below. And what's really nice about this CMA summary is for each category that have more than 2 items, obviously there's only 1 active, so it won't do it. It'll show the average, the minimum, the maximum, and the median pricing for everything. So you can see the average list ask price that we looked at was $317, and the average sold price was $345. Same down here with pending. So that's what a full report would look like if you had all the other topics in there. Again, I just wanted to show you that. Here is what we're going to do our CMA with. So what's nice about this CMA summary that's offered through Paragon, I use this quite a bit with my investors. I use this with people that kind of want to know, hey, is this house priced correctly in the area? I can do a quick search or something like that, and then show them this relatively quickly. It gives all the information that's in there. And the other nice thing that I like about it is it's customizable. You can show what you want in any of these columns. You don't have to leave it at the default method, default screen. Right now, mine has been changed. So to change any of these column headings, you come to Customize Fields. And when this loads up, on the right is everything that's in your CMA, and on the left is everything you can add. The only issue that's a little bit cumbersome is you have to do each section individually. Right now, this is showing active. I have solds and pending. So if I make a change now, it will only show up on the active screen. It won't show up on the solds and pending unless I go in and change that specific screen. And since I only have solds here, I'm going to go in and change my sold. And let's say I wanted to get rid of the acreage. For some reason, all the homes are the same. We don't need the acreage. If I clicked right here, highlighted that box and click remove, it would remove it. If I wanted to add it back in, just type up, oh, I'm going to spell it correctly and you'll get it. Why is it not coming in? Acreage. Not coming in. Okay, so you can find, if you scroll through these, you can see everything that's in there. I don't have basements in here. Most of these homes all have basements, but let's say I wanted to see if it had a basement, and I wanted to show that because I'm in an area where there are where there may or may not be basements, so I want to compare. No, I like below grade square foot. What's it going to show? Below grade square. It's not showing up. That's finished. So we're going to, if I wanted to see if they had a finished basement, that would be the below grade square footage. And then you can move that column wherever you want it to appear. I can do it right here. I'm going to put it below below grade square foot and below grade square foot finished. So now when I click save on that error saving preference, okay. Now I have the below grade square foot, which tells me this one, it doesn't have a finished basement. I had a client that was interested in only bedroom sizes, so he didn't care. All the homes were about the same and everything else. I blew out all those days on markets and all that. All I did was I had the bedroom sizes in here. So each one of the bedrooms showed up so he could effectively compare everything, the homes when I gave him this to look at when we were seeing it. And it came in real handy because I showed him 5 or 6 homes. And even though I gave him listing tickets on everything, he still felt that some of the homes had different bedroom sizes. And when I put them in a quick comparison format like this for him, it was really easy for him to recognize that all the bedrooms were basically the same sizes in all the homes we were looking at. So this is CMA summary that is found on Paragon. It's a quick tool. It's customizable, and it's pretty efficient in how it does it and how quickly you can get to it through your basic search. I mean, I can come home, do a search, and then create this report and email it to somebody, or just, you know, whatever I need to do with it. I can do this in a matter of, like, you know, however long it takes me to run my search. 15 minutes, I can have this one done. So it's a pretty good tool if you just want to use it. I also use it a lot when buyers are looking to write an offer on the home and they want a little more information for the area, saying, hey, kind of how are things doing? Is this home priced correctly? Is it priced a little too high, a little too low? And rather than me just sitting there going, yeah, I think it's priced right, or giving my opinion, I demonstrate my worth as a realtor by taking the few extra minutes to send them this information for them to look at so that they can have more information when they're making their decision. And it demonstrates, again, my ability as a realtor as to what the market is actually doing in the area. It's not me just saying, yeah, it's a good price. So that's why I use the CMA summary that is found under Paragon. That's one way to do a CMA, and it's pretty quick. It's not very colorful. It's not very flashy. You just kind of get it like this. You can email this to the clients, through Paragon. If I wanted to email this directly, all I would have to do is come up here and click on email. MLS client view, you want to make sure that all the listings are selected, and then just hit compose email, and then just like any other email, fill in their address if it's not already saved under your contacts in MiRealSource. Write a little paragraph. Here's the CMA summary, and you can send it directly right out of Paragon to your clients. So there's a lot you can do with the CMA summary. Again, that's found once you have your property selected. You go over to reports, and you come down here to CMA summary, and it automatically generates this report. So from here, back here to our Paragon search screen, we have the 3 properties we're going to use. At any one time, if I decided I want to go back to all the properties, instead of having the check button, click on all the properties come up. If I wanted to include them all, which I'm going to do in my CloudCMA, you just click. You can either click on them individually or up here on the universal button. They are all selected. You have to have, in order to go to CloudCMA, which I'm going to do next, you have to have properties selected, or it won't pull them. So I'm just going to select all the properties. There's a couple ways to get to CloudCMA from here. The best way is to come right up here to Actions, kind of looks like a plug. And from the drop-down screen, you go to CloudCMA right here. Again, you select your property, go to Actions, drop-down screen, CloudCMA. This will start the process for CloudCMA. This is going to give you more of a printed format. This is something that's nice to publish and take to them in a booklet form. It's great to include if you have a written marketing plan and you want to include that along with it. So once this loads, so here's the starting opening page for Create CMA Report. You can name the report whatever you want to. I typically just call it whatever their first name is, first and last name. That's what I named the report. You can name it again whatever you want, but this is what's going to show up on the cover of the report. Enter the property address right here. It already auto-populates, so if you click on that, it'll load. The nice thing is it found some tax data right here, so it's going to pull in the same information we looked at BS&A when this little purple indicator shows up here. Shows it's residential. I don't have a cover photo right now for it, so CMA is automatically going to load a photo for it. There's a way you can drop in a photo here if you had one. I don't know if I have it. Let me check real quick. I usually have this. Yep, I do have a picture. What I did was I copied the picture off of BS&A. I will show you what that will look like with and without the picture. So later on, we'll come back to the screen just so you can see how it looks. For right now, I don't have a cover photo. If you had private notes, you would enter them here. They don't show up on the report at all. It's just notes for you if you wanted to keep them there. So CMA pulls its listings in one of 2 ways. It pulls them by either what you enter here, which were the properties we pulled in off our search, or what they call the quick and dirty method by proximity. I don't like the quick and dirty method. They don't look at boundaries. This property is really close to the borderline between Macomb and Oakland County, between Sterling Heights and Troy. That's the dividing line. It's right near DeQuinder Road. I don't want them pulling properties from Troy or Oakland County in the CMA because that affects the tax structures and everything else like that. I also don't want them pulling in newer properties or anything like that. So I always, when I do a CloudCMA, I select the listings that I want to use. I don't like the quick and dirty method when I'm going to take it to my customers. So you have the exact listings. Everything looks good here. There's a couple things you can do. You can either click fetch listings here or up here. Either way, either green tab will work, which will automatically take you to the next screen, which it'll pull those listings in for you. And this is where you can take a little better look at all your listings that you have here. At this time, if you wanted to set a price for Balmoral Court, you can. Please check with your broker if you're a newer agent or your mentor, whoever you're working with, as to the thoughts on that. Some agents don't like to give a firm price. Some agents like to give a range and let the buyer select. The seller select. I personally don't like to give a price. I like to have all my information, go in and talk to the sellers and see where they feel their home should be listed at and why. And if I'm comfortable with that based on this information, I'm going to say, yeah, that's a good price. Especially if you haven't gone in and see the home. Every neighborhood kind of has their good, better, best homes. The best homes are like completely finished out, full basement, everything done. The better homes are kind of in the middle of the category, and the good ones, they're the ones that they haven't done much work to them, that maybe need some more upgrades that the other homes don't quite have all the amenities. Well, you haven't really walked through this home yet, and in doing so, you may not want to give a firm price, not seeing everything, because if you do that, then all of a sudden your numbers could be off, and you could be giving a best price for a good home or a good price for a best home, and now it's not going that well. The other thing I want to caution you about is right now, I just went on a listing appointment where none of the comps, not a single comp for what's sold in the area, matched where we wanted to be above the list price. So I was really hesitant in putting in a price. I got there, I had the conversation with the client where they wanted to be. My comps didn't match anything that pulled up. We went with it. It was $30,000 over where the comp showed it should have been. We put it on the market. 2 days later, we got an offer $15,000 over asking in cash. So it was kind of a moot point. So you got to be a little leery in today's market, getting too firm in your price versus what the CMA information says. So use these as tools to have a better conversation with that potential client when you're speaking to them, and again, to help prove your worth or demonstrate your worth as a realtor versus why they can't just go pull something off of Zillow. So here are your properties right here that you pulled up. Right now, they're in different order. You can select your sort option up here: bath, bedrooms, list price. We're going to go by list price, and this is low to high and high to. This is high to low and low to high. I like them in reverse order. If I wanted to add a listing, I could click right here and add a listing. You can also come over here and do details and adjustments. I'll show you this screen. I do not use it. I'm not an appraiser. I'm not a licensed builder. I don't want to get into saying how much something is going to cost or not cost for a home. I'll mention that in my discussions with the potential client, that, hey, this person had a fully finished basement with a wet bar and a full kitchen down there. The rest of the homes just had a finished basement. That could add to the value of the home. But it's very simple. All you do is come in here and type in the adjustment. I'll just put in so you can see how this looks. And then you would come over here and assign a value, minus 10,000. And then you would hit click save, and it would adjust the price from here. Again, I don't get into doing all that. I'm not an appraiser, and so I don't play with that. Some other agents, if you're really good at that, you feel comfortable doing this, that's how you would adjust the homes up and down as you needed to. So let me close details and adjustments. All right. So that covers everything on the listing page. Once you pulled the listings, you can see that all these tabs up here went green. So anywhere there's a green tab, if you click on it, it will take you to the next page. Customize report, or customize report. Any one of those will take you to the next page, which is where you'll actually customize the report. This also shows you a quick little map of where everything's from, where everything was taken from. So we're going to customize the report. Here is what benefits are with CloudCMA. You have a lot of options here with CloudCMA to make, this will be a booklet type report if you want to give that, or something that can be emailed as a PDF. There's a lot you can do inside of CloudCMA. Basically, you have all your headings or chapters that you can add in your report. These Power Pack packages and the Tom Ferry pages, you have to be a premium member of CloudCMA in order to have access to them. They're very good. Some agents use them and they really like them. It takes their customization of their report to a next level. However, through MiRealSource, they give you quite a bit that you can use without having to necessarily go to and pay for the premium. So all this is included under CloudCMA. So the customizations that you have is you have the theme, the layout, the template, the cover, and the font. The theme right here, you have options. You have what we call all the modern colors, and the branded, the affiliates, and the classic colors. The classics give you a little different layout than the moderns do. If you wanted to, if your company is a certain color and you want to go with that, you can use these colors to keep the color schemes in there, or select one that you like yourself. Right now I have modern blue and silver. Those are not my company's color schemes. I am not with a nationally branded company, so I have the freedom to use what I want. I like these because they print up nicely. That's why I like these color schemes. You can do modern purple if you want. It's a little harsh for me. I don't like that. But the nice thing is you can change this, and once you get to the end of your report or at any time think, I don't like the way this looks, all you do is come up here, and I forgot where I was. Modern blue and silver, and change it, and it just automatically changes your report. So that's my theme. I'm going to choose that theme. The theme you choose will always come up each time you start a new CMA. It will revert back to the last theme you choose. The layout, you have different types of layouts for when they show a property. You have photo with map, 2 photos, photo with max data, 2 column, 3, 4 column comparison. If you want to have a more lengthy report, you can use the ones with the photos with it. I don't like the 2 photo one, and the reason I don't like the 2 photo is you cannot change the orders of the photos as they are pulled in from the listing ticket. Meaning most realtors, we take a couple exterior photos, a couple interior photos, starting with the foyer or entrance, which leads into either the family room or the kitchen, and we kind of stack all our photos on top of each other, as they should, so when I'm going through it on the screen, it flows nicely. The problem is with the 2 photos, this first photo is going to be the primary photo on the listing ticket, and the next photo is going to be the next one in line. So if my primary photo is a shot of the front yard, and the next one's a shot of the entrance, those are going to be the only 2 photos that you see there. Photo with the map, well, if they're all within a same tight neighborhood in a subdivision like this, I really don't need to show a map to show their 1 street over rather. Photo with max data is pretty good. That's the one I'm going to use. It gives you the most amount of information on the front listing page. And then the comparisons, I'll come back to these and show you why you would want to use those. So I'm going to go photo with max data. To do anything other than the standard cover, you have to get the premium packages. I don't get the premium packages. I just stick with the standard cover. And then you have the fonts. You have all kinds of fonts. You can choose whichever font you want, and it changes anywhere there's a pre-formatted page in here. This is what the font will be. And I think I don't know what I have right now. We're just going to choose Catamaran. So here are all your pages right here. This is the default load for the CMA. It's a lot of pages. It's almost too many pages. But if you want to see what they look like, you just come over here and change it from over to the pointing finger, and it'll show you what it's going to look like. It's my PDF preview of what my cover page is going to look like. It's called Comparative Market Analysis. Here is the text, the font, and select it. Here's what I named it. The only thing is that this date is the date you go to run it. So sometimes I'll set this all up. I'll have everything ready and I'll print the cover page the day I'm actually doing it. Maybe I do this 2 or 3 days ahead of time, and I want them to know it's current. It has my photo and my company right here. Remember in the beginning where I said if you don't have a photo, this is what it does. It kind of takes an overhead view, and then it drops this little purple star right there. It's really hard to see. So before we go any further, I'm going to go back here to criteria, and where it says add cover photo, I cropped this off of the BS&A website, which is a public website, so you can take the photo. I'm not using the photo, you know, I'm not using it for marketing purposes. So under MiRealSource, here's the picture, I already have it. I'm going to open that cover photo, and I'm going to leave it the way it is and hit crop. Oh, got to hit update listing, and it should save it. And I like doing it this way because it makes a much nicer cover photo. When you go to customize, and it should come up now with the photo in it. And it has the photo in it. It looks a lot better than that purple dot that you can never see. So anyways, that's how, by adding the photo, that's what it looks like. So that's the title page. If you had to cut these pages here that say edit, you can directly edit them from right here. I already know what these pages say and I don't want them in here. What is the CMA? Anything that shows up that looks like a page but doesn't say edit, those are already pre-formatted pages that come out. I like this one. Go through them when you have time and see what they are, especially if you're a newer agent or an experienced agent that wants some more talking points or just wants to brush up on your presentation a little more. It gives you some information about what is a CMA, how's it created, how accurate they are. This is a good page to have in there. It will automatically put up your address right here, and it will brand you on the bottom of every page down here. So I like this page as to what is a CMA. I use it as a talking point in my report. The contact me page, again, has all your information on it with your photo and your company logo if you have it loaded up, and everything, your email and your cell phone address. You can also put in, if you have a Twitter or Facebook, that can all load up here as well, and I'll show you how to do that later. Map of all the listings, again, pulls out here's where you have the map of them all. That's why I don't like to use the photo with the map, because I'm already giving them a photo. If you had pendings and actives, they would show up in here with pendings are orange and actives are green. So these little teardrops that indicate where the properties are would color correspond to match if they were pending or active. And of course, in CloudCMA, the subject property is always this little purple one right there. So if you go through each one of these pages, you will see what all of them are about. This is a very, very long report. I wouldn't use all this other stuff in here. These are what they call these chapter titles. I don't personally use them. I know other agents who like using these when they do a CloudCMA. It kind of gives a break between the pages to help them sort of find their chapters of what the different areas are going to cover. So I don't like this page. I'm just going to get rid of the listing chapter page. I'm going to click on this little red minus sign, and it removes it from my report. Okay. Just go through and click on these and see what they are, become familiar with them. If you have pendings and actives, they would show up on this report as well. This you can't customize at all. It will automatically pull this information. Here is where, this is the part that really makes your report super long, this listing section. You have the details, and because we went with photo with max data, what you'll have is the photo and the max data for the home here. Okay, that's one page. Then you have photos with the first dozen on a page. So if I had selected 2 photos as my page while this one is loading, we'll see how all these photos come up. So this would have been my first photo, and this would have been the photo right next to it. Again, not very good to have two photos side by side are the same. That's why I like the max data if you're going to do this. The problem is you only get 12 photos here. So how do you show the rest of the photos? You come over here. If you're not sure what any of these chapters are, just click on the arrow and drop it down. It says more photos, all the rest. So if you click on this plus, it'll add it to the report and it adds it in the right spot. So if you click on the more photos, all the rest, we already saw the first page. Now you have all the rest of the photos in there. This is what really starts adding to your CMA as far as page length. And quite frankly, I don't like to use it. Again, this is my personal preference. Different brokers and different agents, you have your own opinions on it. The reason I don't like to use this is when people, first off, they don't really look at it. It doesn't print out overly well. And I got a tip for that later on. The other reason I don't like it is I don't want people to start looking at other people's homes and seeing like what they have in there, what furniture and all that other stuff. I want to give them a basis for their comparison. I don't want them all of a sudden to play, home decor shopper or whatever and seeing what they have or what they don't have, and they lose focus of what the purpose of the CMA is. But that's how you can include the photos. It says map more photos. I don't do adjustments, so I'm going to move that out. Analysis chapter, again, that's another chapter heading. I don't like those, so I get rid of them. You have comparable property statistics, all these different things. I'm not going to use a suggested list price, so I'll pull that out. If you wanted to include a seller's net sheet, you can include that in here. But since we're not going with the price, I don't like to have that sheet in there. Again, different brokers, different agents, you feel differently about it. You can either, if your company has a seller's net that you want to include, you can include it in here as well. If you had a whole marketing action plan, commission distribution, all these other pages here, these are stock pages that you can look at, and there's information here if you want to include it or not. If you want some talking points about how commission is distributed, there are some great pages in here that you can include. I'm going to just dump a lot of these because I don't want this report to be too cumbersome when I go to demonstrate printing it out. Intelligent pricing and timing. This could be a good page if you want to include it in there. Again, take your time and read through these. Become familiar with some of them if you want to. If you have them, you can. Those are all under here. If you're not sure where any of these pages are at, just click these drop down arrows, and anything that's here you can add to your report. Okay. Closing chapter I'm not going to use. Marketing action plan going to go. Notes, guidance chapter, client's testimonial, the value of your home. Everything looks pretty good except there's a couple of pages I want to add, and we call those custom pages. Now, at this point, you want to come up and you want to save your template. I'm going to name it as their last name. CloudCMA. I'm going to save that. What that does at this point, because I'm not going to publish it, it locks in all these pages that I just did and changed and everything else. Now I'm going to show you how to add custom pages. Now, before I do a CMA, because I know the process, I usually go in and add my custom pages first so I can pull them directly in. We pull in custom pages from right here. All right. So to add a custom page, you come up to where it's up in the corner. If you have a photo loaded, it'll be the photo. If not, I believe it's a circle with your initials in it or something similar. And you come down here to where it's drop down to where it says custom pages, open that. And we have two types of custom pages. We have custom pages that you can add that are Word documents, and we have everything as PDFs. So to add a custom page, you just type in the title and click add. That's going to be your CloudCMA. You click add, and you can create your pages right here just like you would with any Word document. One of the one of the pages that I have already in here, delete that forever, is called Your CMA Criteria Explained. It's what I include in all my CMA reports. This was somebody else I did with a home and some other stuff. I don't have one for Balmoral, and I'm not going to go through the process here. I just edit this page for everybody. I tell them what I searched, how many homes came up. It kind of gives them my version of the criteria I used and what I found. The most important note is that I have here on the bottom is it's based on market activity at the time of the CMA was prepared. Market conditions are always changing. At this time, you actually list your home, and it may shift. So basically what I'm telling you is, hey, I'm giving you this today, and if you come back to me in 30 or 60 days, this may have all changed. This comparative market analysis is not an appraisal. I let them know that this is not an appraisal, and the reason is it's not an appraisal is because I am not a licensed appraiser, so I'm not giving them an appraisal. That's why I call it a CMA or comparative market analysis, but I do not call it an appraisal. I sometimes include a sentence down here that says, if I am going to put a price in there, I have since taken out trying to give a price or price range. I have that in my mind. I used to have a sentence in there that said the CMA is based on not seeing your home. It kind of based off of what I saw online and guessing at what your home is. I didn't like that. I stopped the practice personally of giving a price. I had a price range in mind when I went into their home, but and after I looked around their house, then I could adjust the price in my head. So I took that sentence out. The biggest thing that you need in here, though, is the one that says this comparative market analysis is not an appraisal. And again, I have all the information in here. This was for another one I did. I gave the zip code on the market in so many months. Basically everything I used is my search criteria. And if multiple homes resulted, we had 19 homes, 17 sold and 2 active. Then I went through and told them why I narrowed it down to the 6 homes in the CMA. This is the page I customized myself. It's already added. I can edit it however I want. So that page is right in there. And I usually include it in all my CMAs that I do for everybody. The other things are PDFs. PDFs are, if there's something that you saved, you can bring in. Is this Balmoral? No. So for instance, I'm going to another page, another screen where you can't see where I'm at right now. Hold on one second, please. So I think I have this still up for Balmoral. Oops. For Balmoral, come on, I got too much in my way here. Yeah, so I include the Z estimate on all my CMAs. I include the page for the Z estimate. The reason I do is because I figure those clients have already looked on Zillow or Redfin or Truly or something. They have some sort of idea what their home is worth based on what the market is saying. I already have the Balmoral one here. I'm going to delete it out. I'll delete that. I'll show you how to bring that photo in. I already have it loaded on my screen. I already have it saved. So to upload a PDF, you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom. You put upload PDF. There you go. And then right here is the Zillow one. I already had it saved as a PDF. I screenshotted it and then cropped it to show just this, not all the other stuff that's on the Zillow page. And then you just click open and it'll pull it right in. Now be aware, if you delete something from any of your custom pages, it takes it out of that report because it can't pull it anymore. Once it's published, and you have it printed out, that's fine. But if you try to go back to it or redo the report and that page has been deleted, you can't pull it up again. So here it is down here. It's the Balmoral Zillow one. I also remember I told you about the BS&A page I like to include. I saved that off. I have that for Balmoral. It's right here. And here's the Balmoral BS&A page. I'm going to open that. This kind of lets them know, all the information that I told you earlier that I got with their names on it, the square footage and everything else. So those are all my custom pages. I also have the MiRealSource page. I have the Sterling Heights This is an older one. I'm not going to go through the process of how you would do this through market stats, but I pulled out the local market update to show them what things are doing in their local area. Those are in your custom pages. How do I get them in my report? You'll see this is why I think of all my custom pages I want to put in my report first. Make sure they're in my custom pages. I do my CMA criteria explained, update, edit first, and then pull them in your CMA report. You come to CMA, you go to that one we just had opened. Gotta find it, should be right. James and Carol Sedlock. We're going to edit it. Here it is. You don't have to go through listings and all that. Just come over here to customize. Because we saved the template, remember we only had those 8 or 10 pages in it. One thing, I like my contact me page at the end, so I'm going to move it down here. So now we're going to add the custom pages. So it pulls up everything you have saved in the custom pages. Okay, here's my Balmoral BS&A, my Balmoral Zillow, and if I had that CMA criteria explained, although it was for another report, I'm going to add it in there. It just drops it in your CloudCMA template. You can move these to wherever you want. Your CMA criteria explained page, you just click on it and grab it up. I like to put it right behind what is a CMA. Under the analysis chapter, there's one page I like to use a lot. It's called the online value analysis. The reason I like to use the online value analysis page is because this information comes from Zillow, and it tells you of the 5 sold homes. Here was their sold price, and here was the Z estimate on the day that the whole house was sold. And as you can see, on average, Zillow was off by 18%, $77,000. This house, they said the Z estimate was 575. It closed at 516. 552, it closed at 485. So you want to make sure, since I feel most of my potential clients have already looked at Zillow or some other online valuation source, I like to include this page. It makes the conversation with them a lot easier. Is, well, why shouldn't I be listing my house on Vintage Oaks for $530,000? I mean, that's what Zillow says my property's worth. Everyone says today's markets are going a lot higher and everything else. And I'm going, yeah, but the last ones that have sold have only been at 475. So it helps make your discussion points easier when you're talking off of credible sources and not just off of opinion. So that's that page. That's called Online Value Analysis. And right behind that, I stick in my Zillow page that I saved, because I took a screenshot of what Zillow was saying their home was worth. And Zillow, in fact, was saying their house was worth 468. So I think that's probably where they should be price range, 408 to 525. Zillow tends to use the higher part of their range when they're doing something. So just understand what you're including in the report there. And of course, this is the BS&A information. I sometimes put it like up in the beginning if I want, wherever you want to put it. It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. I'll use it there just to kind of let them know what I pulled or not. If I don't like the way it looks, I can delete it by simply clicking on delete it from the report by clicking on the little red circle, and it's taking me out. I like the way this whole report looks. I like the way it's set up. So there are 2 options. Again, it's an unsaved template, so I can rename it again. The Sedlocks, and hit save. Or if I would have hit publish report, it would have saved it right away, but saved that template. So now I'm going to publish the report. I want to see what this is actually going to look like. And this is what you can send to your clients and everything else. It's generating the report here. When you're done, you can email it, copy as a PDF link, save it as live. I'll go over all that in a minute. And so it's loading up. Again, there's a lot you can do with this report once it's loaded. So I'm going to go back and view the PDF to make sure it's the way I like it. So once it comes up, There are 37 pages. Wow, that's a lot. Now, what I like to do personally is I like to run this before, obviously run the report before I go and meet with somebody. And if I'm going to give it to them in person, I send it to any one of the big box printing stores, Kinko's, FedEx, Office Depot, Office Supply, whatever. And I ask them to print it on two-sided and a heavier weight paper. The paper I have at my home, off my home printer, the clarity's not that good. It's a thinner weight paper. When you print on both sides, it just doesn't look it nice. This is a $460,000 home. I'm going to spend an extra $15 on a CMA to try to win the listing. Even on a $300,000 home or $200, I'll do this to help set me apart from the other realtors that they may or may not be talking to. I want to make sure to let them know that I'm going to come there with quality. So as just a little side tip, I email it to the particular store I use. I give them about a 2-hour lead time. I tell them the heavier weight paper, and then I want one in all black and white. That's going to be mine. And then I want one so that I have talking points when I'm there. And then I want the other one bound. If you work at an office that has a binder, you can certainly bind it there. But I get it spiral bound or some sort with a clear cover. So when I make a presentation, it's on a heavier weighted paper. It's printed in color. It looks really, really nice when they do it. Anyways, this is a 37-page report. My experience is most clients just want to know what their home is worth. I try to stop at this page and go over this page with them. And again, reemphasize it's not an appraisal. Kind of where the listings were all from. And I walk through it all with everything that they have in the CMA with the photos and all that. The reason I don't like with all the photos is you start getting into multiple pages of multiple photos. It looks great, but I'm not trying to sell this home to my potential clients. I'm trying to win their listing. So this page, this one here has what, 4 pages of photos? That makes these reports very, very, very long. And again, I don't want them, I want to know kind of what the homes look like, but I don't need my clients really, like this one has all these aerial views and everything else like that. I don't want all that in my report. So what we do, close both these tabs. We come back up to our CMA. We go back to CMAs. We go to my Sedlock CMA, and I want to click Edit It. I'm going to come right here to Customize Page. Everything stays the same. I'm leaving everything the way it is except for my layout. Now I'm going to go to 3-column comparisons. And I'll show you what that looks like. And I'm also going to get rid of the photos here. So now when you go to the detail page, it shows 3 columns of comparison here and gives them just the information they need. And by doing a 3-column comparison, it gives them the home, it gives them the address, the close, if they were active or pending, again, it would show that. So now you can either, I'm going to save it again, same thing. I'm going to call it the Sedlock CMA. You can either save this template. Every time you make changes to your thing, it's going to, to your report, it's going to ask you to save the template. Or if you go to publish right away, it will automatically save it. So I'm going to hit publish report. We're going to go through the same process again. Remember that last report had 37 pages. We're going to hit view PDF. Nothing else has changed except for that whole section when we got down here to the properties. Here are the comparable properties. And you could have went 4 per page. I knew I had 5 listings, so I didn't want to do 4 on one page and 1 on the other, so I went with 3. So this, I went from 37 pages to 12 pages. This is a manageable report that someone's going to look through. Now they're looking at homes. We're not getting caught up in the interior and overhead photos and aerial views and all that. Everything else looks the same. My online value analysis, all that other information that I put in there is all the same. I like this report right here. You can save it, download, or whatever from this setting right here. Or if you come back to this page, you can email the report directly from here. You can copy it as a PDF link, or you can copy the live link, okay? Because you can also view this as I'm going to go back to CMAs. At this CMA, you have a couple of options. You view PDF, which we already did. View live. Live is a cool feature that kind of came about when we started not being able to meet in person. It was kind of there, but the technology got a lot better. This is where you can send it to somebody and kind of go through it with them live. I suggest before you do it, you practice on yourself, sending you some things and meeting with a friend or family member to understand these pages and how it all work. If you send it to somebody live and have them look at it, and it's an interactive way of presenting the CMA without actually going to the home. So that's what's offered through CloudCMA. You can do that. It's a pretty cool feature if you'd like to do the live stuff and not meet in person. We've gotten back more to meeting in person. Personally, I like to go and meet in person. The other things you can do with it is where these three dots are. You click on that. It offers you a slideshow. To view a slideshow, this is great if you want to bring the sellers into your office and meet in your conference room. And if you have a screen that you can mirrorcast or connect to, a TV screen in the office, you can walk them through the CMA. Down here, it brings you back to the home page. And these little arrows here, this black one that's flashing will tell you which direction to click on. It kind of rearranges the order of everything in here, but anywhere there's a darkened arrow, you go forward, backwards, up or down. This shows you the listings, comparable homes, the subject property, the solds, all that. It does include the pages here. The reason it includes those little like chapter heading pages is because now you can go down and look at the homes. And this pulls you through the photos and the more photos and more photos and everything else. So, and just by clicking left or right on the arrow, it takes you through your whole report. These drop-down arrows allows you to walk through. This is a really nice feature if you wanted to bring them into your office and kind of walk them through everything in a different kind of format. You can still have the printed format for them, but this is a cool feature if you wanted to show take it to your clients that way. Another nice thing with CloudCMA, and I want to, that you can do with CloudCMA, again, we can send it out by emailing it to them. You can email the report, copy the PDF or send it to them, or like if you're meeting in person, print it out and take it, present it to your potential client. The other nice thing about CloudCMA, and I'm going to show you real quickly, is up here again where either your photo or your initials are, is first off, you always want to make sure that your account settings are correct if you haven't done so in a while, or if you've changed your email. I had an email address change, so I made sure that was changed. If you change your cell number for whatever information, for any reason rather, your contact info is all right here. Here's where you would add your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your office phone, Twitter, whatever you wanted to. Just click on add and that would all be dropped in down here, okay? So you find that up in your profile. If you change your photo, this is where you would bullet in. I redid all my photos about 1.5 years ago. So I came in here and edited all my photos. And again, you find that up here in the corner, account settings. The other thing I want to show you with CloudCMA is we have a feature called lead generation. So with CloudCMA, it has this thing called view a landing page. All right, and before we get to that, I'm going to show you how this works. You have to do one quick step to set it up. The best way to set it up is it's called, you want to create a CMA report. And hold on you're going to name it, Sorry about this. I had it written down, so we got to have a slight pause here. What's it called?
It's web lead.
Yep, I got it right. Thanks, Debbie. I knew you. The voice from above. You call it web lead template. That's the name of it. You don't put in a client name. You put in web lead template. You have to enter some sort of address in order to pull up a listing, okay? So I'm going to enter my home address. Debbie, please feel free if I get any of these steps incorrect. And then we're going to fetch the listing. There are no listings down there. It's going to pull up the ones from the quick and dirty, which is fine. The biggest thing is you have to get over here to the customize report page. And all you want to do is under customize report, where the template is, you come down to built-in templates, not the alls, not the custom, built-in templates. And you want to go to the comps only. Click on that. You can, this is where you can still change the theme, the layout, and everything else like that. But I'm going to leave it with the 3-column. I'm going to go to, I'll leave it at 3-column comparison. But we're going to call the template comps only. Here's the stuff that's in there. I'm not going to add or detract any more pages in there. And so from here, you're going to publish the report to save it. And there it is. It's a web lead template. There's not a lot there. The reason I did all that is because when I come over here, you set up those steps to create this web lead template. If I want to go over to lead generation, you're going to have this landing page. And this landing page is, you can copy this link, you can embed it in Facebook, you can put it on shoot it out on Twitter, LinkedIn. If you have a website, you can put it on the website that says, hey, you want to know what's my home is worth? And what the landing page looks like is when someone clicks on that little link and says, what's my home worth? You enter your property address, or they have to. Oops, spelled it wrong, my mistake.
And don't forget you'll need to rename your template too. That was the only other thing. So you'll need to go back.
No, it stays web lead template. Once I set the template at web lead template, it stayed at web lead template. That's what I named it in the beginning. So when someone clicks on what's my home worth, unless I got it wrong, this is what the client will see. So the initial page was what's my home worth. They put in their address. They put in their name and an email address. mirsclass1@gmail.com. They don't have to put in a phone, and they don't have to put in the square foot of your home. It's optional. But they found the address they put in, and then it says, please let us know when we should email your home evaluation report. If you click on email my report, here's what you're going to get. And this is a great feature. So let me open up my inbox really quickly for you guys with all my emails. Come on. Open up this one and open up this one. Okay, so there's two things that are going to happen when someone does that. The first thing is, this is the email I sent it to. This is what the person who entered the information is going to see. They're going to get this email. It comes from me. Hi, Chris. Well, that's because the name I put in there. I should have put in Betty or something. Here it is. And here they click on this link, and then it has this little blurb here with all my contact information. This is the report that they're actually going to see. It'll be that template that we created, the web lead template. It has the map, all that other stuff, the comparable properties, a little bit of information. It gives their online value analysis, and then contact me. The nice thing about this is it gives them information that they can kind of look at. But the beauty of it is you as the agent get this email that says, Chris, hey, Chris, someone just requested a quick CMA. Here's their name. Here's their email address. Here's the property. Here's the report we sent them. Okay. And then they give you the email that they actually followed up with them at down below. So it's called lead generation. So we've had agents who, when we taught this class before, in session at MiRealSource, they would go home and they would practice or try it out. It's a hit or miss kind of thing. Some people got multiple hits on it when they embedded it in a Facebook page. If you constantly are posting on Facebook and Twitter and all that, and staying out in front of your social media and looking for content, this is something that you post once or twice a month out there, maybe on a morning post or an afternoon post on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, saying, hey, curious as to what your home worth, click here. And sometimes you may get people clicking on it. Sometimes you might get nobody clicking on it. But the point is, it's a way to generate possible leads but by simply taking a link and cutting and pasting it and putting in the appropriate thing in the appropriate social media format. And again, the nice thing is you get an email, you, the agent, get an email telling you what their email was and the person's name and what their address was. So the smart thing is to look at that address and find out a little more information. So now you can talk to them a little better and in depth about what their home may be worth. And then you also see what they received down here. So don't get too caught up into the properties and the authenticity of the report. The report is going to be close enough for an AI generated report that can initiate the conversation and hopefully get you in the door to talk to somebody. Again, we have agents out there that post this regularly on their social media pages, and sometimes they get good hits, sometimes they get no hits. Some of them have turned into leads for them. Some of them have been empty leads. But like anything else, it's a numbers game. The more that you keep it out there, the more people keep clicking on it, the more that you're going to eventually get a lead from it. And there's no cost to you. Again, it's right here under lead generation and CloudCMA. Here's the link that you would copy to put on Facebook or any of your other social media platforms. So that is kind of everything that we have with how to do CMAs. Again, just to give a recap to everybody, there are kind of two ways to do a CMA. The first way is after you've done a search and selected your properties, you can come back over here to reports and come down to CMA summary. It will be under CMAs, CMA summary, and it gives you the CMA summary. You can customize those the field headings here by coming up here to customize fields. This is what's in your CMA, and this is what can be added. Just remember, you have to come down and change the solds, the pendings, and the actives, each one's individually. Gets a little cumbersome when you're trying to make all three solds, pending, and actives kind of have the same look when you're trying to present it to your clients. This can either be emailed directly from right here out of Paragon. You can save it as a PDF and mail it as an attachment later. You can save it as a PDF and take it to a listing if you want to. If you're going to show homes with clients, you can print this out and bring it with you. There's a lot of options you can do with it. That's from Paragon. The other way is once your property are selected, come up here to actions. Sorry, I have to go back here to this page right here where they're all selected. You have to select the properties you want to do. Come up here to actions and go to CloudCMA, and that will start the process for you. And once you're in CloudCMA, you can always come back to any CMA that you've already done. They're right here. Just either click on it and it will load up. I see where that is. And you can edit it by clicking the edit button. I did not. Yeah, here's the web bleed template. This was the one I created. Here is the one back in my CMA reports. This is the one that was sent out to the person at 4072 Springbrook Drive. So it not only when they send that email to the prospective buyer or homeowner that was interested in that property, rather not buyer, seller, and you got the follow-up email saying, hey, somebody was interested in what's their home worth, it also saves that CMA for me right here. So I can come back at a later date and see what it was. So you have that. Here's where they're all saved right in here. You can view them through a PDF. You can view them in the live format. I suggest you practice live before you go just start using it. And then up here, you can also do the slideshow or some of the other properties that you have for CMA. And that's kind of like how we do everything. That is how the two ways you can do CMAs through Paragon. One is through Paragon and one is through CloudCMA. Both of them are really cool. Both of them are really good. And when you get proficient at them, this is what helps somebody home valuations without being really considered what the neighborhoods are like. Are they in the same areas and everything else like that? So that is the CloudCMA and the Paragon CMA portion of this. We have a few minutes remaining. Debbie, are there any questions I need to know about? I didn't. All right, no. I see you added handouts and sheets and everything else.
Yep. So we got five different handouts for everybody.
So real quickly on the home page for MiRealSource, if you come up here to MLS documents, wait a minute, it's got to open up. And Debbie, is it up here or down below? Where do I want to be?
It's the one down below, MIRS Education. That has all of our education files in there. That's very robust.
Everything that Debbie has created for education is all in here in the MIRS Education form. Again, I'll show you because it took me a while to remember where it was. It's in the MLS documents up here from your home page. Come on. And it's down here, these 89 files. It's all right in here. This is everything. Is it by alphabetical order or the way it was put in?
When they go in, they are automatically added to the top. So sometimes I'll leave them there for a little bit, just letting them know it's new. Other than that, I move them all into alphabetical order.
So here's a PDF that was put together on CloudCMA, adding PDFs and custom pages. You can just click on this, open it up, and it'll show you. There's all kinds of stuff that we have covered in other classes that is in this whole section as well. It's a really good place to go. For information if you want to kind of research what we went over. Another cool place to go is once my homepage loads up. Right here we have a YouTube page. You click on YouTube, it takes you right to YouTube. Debbie takes a lot of these seminars that we do and she condenses them down into YouTube training videos. There's a whole bunch of them here. They're all really, really good. There's a lot of good instructors. There's other information on here on our YouTube page. Please subscribe if you haven't already. That helps us in a lot of ways and helps us to keep doing the great things that we're doing. Subscribe to it, and anything that you do it, give us the feedback. If you like it, give us the like. If you don't like it, then give us a thumbs down so we know how to improve. That's why the surveys are so important at the end. And you can go through here and see different topics that we've already covered. You can kind of watch them at your leisure and understand what is going on with the tools that you have available to you through MiRealSource or other information that is coming out there. We have, what is it, Paragon Connect, right? Is that the new one, Debbie?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, I was unfamiliar with that. I sat through the class to learn how to use Paragon Connect on my phone, and then I went back and watched the YouTube video because there was a lot of information in the class that was covered, and I found certain areas that I didn't quite get in class. I went back and watched that again. So anything I may have said here, Debbie will edit this down and it'll be up there. Other ones that may be out there. Please look through them at how to use these tools that are available to you for either doing using CMA summary or CloudCMA. All of them are great tools. So with that, I'm not going to pull up our videos anymore or go back to our video screen. With that, I'm just going to end the seminar. if nobody has any questions, we really appreciate you guys dialing in today. I hope everybody's doing good. And my last little thing is, if you ever have any questions, reach out to Debbie. And if you ever also have any questions regarding how something should be done, please check with your broker. Ultimately, you know, it's your broker that's going to just give you the best direction on what should or shouldn't be, what they would like to see. We will tell you what can be in there. It's up to you to make it all work. So I hope everyone's doing well and had a great weekend. And, you know, keep logging in, and we appreciate your time today. Anything else, Debbie?
Nope, that's it. Thank you very much for a great class today, Chris.
All right, you guys have a great day.